everybody. All right, it is bedtime, but honestly, I feel like nighttime is the best time to discuss the BL series 4 minutes. All right, so we are on episode 3. Now, the first thing I want to notate is there is another doctor that works with time at the hospital named Den. Now, Den has been doing like some secret interviews with patients who have had heart attacks, and one of the patients that he interviews is this woman named, I think, Lukwa, and she can also see 4 minutes into the future whenever her heart stops. Now, Den doesn't know anything about Great at this time, but I do feel like that might be like some foreshadowing for the future. So, one other thing that I feel like might be noteworthy, because I do feel like it was brought to our attention in episode 1, is that Den and Time seem to be on opposite ends of the doctor spectrum. Whereas Time seems to be that type of doctor that wants to do anything and everything to save everybody. But Den is over here. He's very much the DNR, give him some pain medicine and let them die quietly type of doctor. Like in episode 1, when that woman got run over by Great, she wanted to die, but Time convinced her to stay alive, right? Den was upset about that. He was basically like, no, she wants to die, let her fucking die. Then later on in episode 3, Time, I guess, had intubated one of his patients, like to help her breathe or whatever. And Den was like, why the fuck would you do that? If you read her chart, you would see she already has an order for morphine. She already said that shit hurts. She doesn't want to do it. She's fucking old. Just let her die, happy and quiet and pain free. Now, for some reason, the time 11:01 keeps popping up for Great. Also, somebody delivers something to Great and like the messages are getting all distorted or whatever. Now, personally, I would seek psychiatric help because that sounds like schizophrenia. Plus, Great is rich, so he really has no reason not to go to the fucking doctor. Clearly, he has enough sense to realize something's not right because he's brought this up to his brother and also to Time. So I don't know. I personally, I just wouldn't waste any more time. I would just go get some medicine. So Time pretty much confirms that he is a stalker. He is shown up at Great's school. Now he gets brave and asks Great out on a date, and he gets rejected. But right after Great rejects him, he ends up having another one of his anxiety attack 4 minute episodes. So he goes back into time, right? Now, Great had asked Time about these symptoms at the doctor or at the hospital, and Time was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that with our psychiatric patients." So now that Time has experienced it again, he says to Time that it just happened, and to prove it, he's like, "You're about to ask me on a date. You asked everybody in the area about what kind of tea I like because you're a fucking stalker." And Time's like, "Okay, I am a surgeon. I cannot diagnose crazy people, so let me go talk to my doctor friends at the hospital." So at this point, I start to wonder two things. One, is Time losing interest in Great? Because truthfully, as a doctor, this guy has just revealed to you some very extreme symptoms. So I just feel like there needs to be like some kind of separation. Maybe it's not an ethics issue, but just maybe morally. I don't know. And then two, I wonder if the reason Time doesn't lose interest in Great is because he's actually trying to get closer to him because he wants to get closer to his dad's gambling ring. Because I feel like at this point, he was a patient of Times at the hospital, so he would have seen his last name. He would know that they are related. So to me, besides the obvious, it's a BL, that would be a great reason for him to be following Great around. So, anyways, Great says, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." So while they're at the mall, they're having this little cutesy date or whatever. Great starts experiencing more hallucinations. Now, in this particular flashback, it's not like a 4 minutes into the future kind of thing. He's in this weird dark room. There's this random girl there that he's never met, and the time 4 o'clock is across the wall. Okay, so he's like spacing out. He comes back to, and then Great's like, "Oh, let's go do something else." So from there, they start to have a very gay date where they're playing with the claw machines. Now, Great has actually never played the claw machine, so this is a great opportunity for Time to be like kind of macho, like, "Don't worry, I'll get you that stuffed animal. I'll do it for you. Like, I can tell that even though Time is kind of like awkward and goofy and nerdy or whatever, I'm just kind of picking up all those vibes. He definitely has kind of a competitive and dominant streak to him, because when Great was like messing it up, he's like, move. I'll do it for you. I just fucking told you how to do it. You're not doing it right. Anyways, it's really cute, very gay, very demure. By the end of the date, he's won him like a bunch of different stuffed animals. So the date ends at Time's grandma's house, and Great is telling him about how when he was little, he was rich and lonely, and he really wanted to play the claw machine, but his parents were like, no, we're not wasting our money on that shit. We can just buy you the whole damn store, so why the hell are we gonna put a quarter in this machine? So the date was actually very sentimental and meaningful for him. Now, Great can see in the future. Okay, so he's already seen that he and Time are gonna hook up at some point or another. Like they do like flashes throughout the series. So we all know it's gonna happen. So they're sitting in the car, right? And you know, like at the end of a first date, it's like awkward. You're sitting there, there's tension. You're like, I don't know, do I keep talking? Do I kiss? Do we hold hands? What do we do? So Great gets all brave and he like reaches his hand over and puts his hand on top of Time's hand, and then you can see like little flashbacks of what they're both thinking or whatever. And just when they're about to kiss, Time's grandma comes out, and so that scene is over. Like I thought they were gonna pull some teenage shit and like sneak into the grandma's house through the back door or whatever, but all right, so it is getting late and I have work in the morning, so I think what I'm going to do is record part two for episode three tomorrow. Now, I have already seen the entire episode, so if you have any thoughts or whatever, comment, because the entire reason that I'm even recording right now is because I want to talk to people about the show, okay?